our 12 crore people. And what we have earned, many times I said in last 78 years of our independence, what have we earned as a nation? Of course, we have parliament, we have judiciary, we have regulators like SEBI, we have exchanges. But our entrepreneurs have earned the trust of our investors. 25% of India's households today, we have 9 crore households directly investing into stocks. 25% of India's households are now investing in stocks. They're telling you that 25% of Indians have become middle class. And it's such a great situation that today Germany, the entire market size is much lower, probably less than 30-40% of our size. UK is now 50% or less compared to our size. Singapore is running at 30 years less, 30 years lowest in terms of number of listed companies. Japan, Australia, you see everywhere except India and US. You don't have new companies coming to the markets. You don't have new investors coming to the market. And that's where when we ask ourselves that this is actually against economic theory, that how come poor people or low per capita income country like India has so many people investing in other places. And that's a miracle of modern technology, because people are able to trade through mobile, but also because the human trust into other humans doing business, becoming their partners, is so great. This is the wealth of trust. 1/3 of India's wealth, $5.2 trillion, is now represented by NSE. 1/3 of India's wealth is a wealth of trust. And that is, for me, what will propel India forward is that the countries or societies which trust each other will go up. That societies which do not have that contract amongst citizens are going to go down. And that's where the foreigners, they have ability to invest into many countries. And naturally, they predict about things. Sometimes they are wrong, sometimes they are right. But in some ways, they've gone through many such iterations. They take out the money, they take in the money. But today, every year, large portion of the savings which India used to do earlier also, but today, just to give you a perspective, on a $4.2 trillion of GDP, we save around 30%, which is $1.2 trillion. It is reasonably large enough for us to fund ourselves.
So in 5 years from now, what will the size of our markets be? How many people will be investing in the stock market?
Okay, so usually my job is to run the systems. So I sort of prepare for the worst case, but I give you last 11 years numbers, because when Mr. Modi took over, I have some memory of those numbers. When he took over, India had 1.67 crore investors 11 years back, 2014. Today, after 11 years, India has now 12 crore unique investors, 7 times more. India in 2014, around May 2014, had totally market capitalization, that is the wealth represented by stock exchange, was 67 lakh crore. Today, it's 460 lakh crore, almost 7 times. Today, on a good day, I will do 2,000 crore orders in 6 hours and 15 minutes. Comparatively, UPI does 2,000 crore transactions in a month of 24 hours. I do it in 6 hours only. But compared to the rest of the world, on many days, NSE accounts for more than 50% of all orders in the world. We have become that large, although per transaction our values are small, and that's where we still don't count. But if you just extrapolate, because in some ways, last 30 years, 35 years, there are many ups and downs. We have seen worse periods, right? Today, we have seen, I started working on NSE in 92. 98, we recall the Asian financial crisis. Then we had the nuclear sort of test, and then we had sanctions. Then came 2000, e-commerce and Y2K stuff. Then 2001, the collapse of e-commerce bubble. Then 2007-8, or 2008-9 global financial crisis, and many such cycles which are worse than today. And in that 32, 33 years, India has given you average 6.5% returns. If you think with all the technology and other things, if India is going to do at least 6.5 or probably 7, 8% in next 25, 30 years, Nifty, when it's actually the base date was November 3, 1995. On that day when I created Nifty, I had based it at 1,000. It's 25,000 today. In literally 30 years, it's given you 25 times return. But if you take the...
How many years to 50,000?
See, that's why I'm giving you that perspective, that in 30 years, from 1,000 to 25,000, but if you take the dividends, it would be close to 30,000, right?
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.